Fuck with that gay this morning.
Bitch, I'm destroyed on the inside. Might look cool, calm and collected. Bitch, I go hard on the inside. Silly me believing in a bitch, nigga. These niggas fraud on the inside. Put some work down, pull your skirt down. These niggas frauds on the inside. Cartier lenses, I don't get offended. I quickly remember I'm walking about it. Shit sentimental, no sense in pretending. I'm no longer rocking my Cartier watches. Cartier water, my Tiffany diamonds. Now I don't even like the name to go with it. Before I go shopping or doing the copping, I want a nigga brain to go with it. Big Luca Brown said, big trending topic. I put that on my that I'ma get with you. You know that it's floating. I'm standing on business. I get in their face and I hand them a 50. You know I'm on 10 when I stand in the churches. Internet, I keep a positive image. In the vicinity, I'm in attendance. You get in my presence, you know that it's tension. Took care of whole ass niggas, helping broke ass hoes wasn't even hurt. Been speaking on me, keep my name out your dick sucker. Get off the gram and commit you a murder. No, you ain't never been off in no gangster shit. Back up and ranking. I'm back on my purpose. When I was with y'all, I was going in circles. You hang with a clown, you a part of the circle. I figured it out. I got back in my bag, yellow caliber, matching a Rari convertible. Hold up. Yeah, I might have went over your head. I push a button and all of a sudden the ceiling go over my head. You still live at home with your mother, ho, go to your room and go get in your bed. You know I'm controlling the gutter, you know that I'm thugging, I'm one of them men. You know if I put you to sleep, till you ain't with a switch, you won't get up again.
Man, I didn't even know nothing about that Kevin Gates, nigga. When I was in that penitentiary, I didn't even know nothing about Kevin Gates, man. My celly put me up on Kevin Gates. He was from Louisiana. You know Kevin Gates from Louisiana, and my celly was from Louisiana, and he used to always be playing Kevin Gates, man. We be sitting in the room, nigga, we be blowing, we getting high in the motherfucker, and he had that Kevin Gates on. So I remember I asked that nigga, I said, man, who is that, man, who is that? I said, man, that's that Gates, man, that Kevin Gates, nigga. Nigga from Louisiana, man, this nigga here hard, nigga be going hard. And I just sit there and just get high with it, man. We just listen to that shit. I was like, yeah, man, that nigga do be going hard. So when I got out here in the world, nigga, I started checking Gates out, you know what I'm saying? You know, he a different type of nigga. He kind of weird or whatever, but you can tell the nigga sharp as a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So I respect the nigga, man. And man, I remember when I stepped up in that penitentiary, man, it was so crazy. You know, I done been behind the wall. I done been behind the door. And the longer you spend behind the wall and you spend behind the door, you find yourself getting institutionalized. And I remember I'm looking around at these niggas, I'm like, man, these niggas crazy as a motherfucker. I thought all these niggas was crazy, man. And I thought I was the only motherfucker that had some sense. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I thought that is because I had just come from the world. So I was different from these boys. I'm like, man, these niggas crazy, man. But I just didn't know these niggas was institutionalized. So I used to tell myself, man, I don't want to be like these niggas. Man, I don't want to be like, man, I be looking at some of these niggas, man, these niggas fucked up. Man, I don't want to be like these niggas, man. But with every day that passed, I started finding myself turning into them niggas, man. And nigga, I used to fight it. I tried to fight it, man. I ain't gonna be like these niggas. I ain't gonna be like these niggas, man. And over time, I turned into one of them niggas. I turned into a convict, man. And I remember niggas used to come in after me, and they used to look at me just like I used to look at the niggas when I first came in. You know what I'm saying? Niggas used to tell me, man, you crazy in the motherfucker, you crazy in the motherfucker. And I used to just laugh. And what's so crazy about it, I knew I was institutionalized after a while. So when niggas used to tell me I was crazy, I couldn't say nothing. I knew it. I fought it. But it wasn't nothing I could do about it, man. And when you turn into a convict, nigga, being behind that wall, being behind that gate for so long, nigga, you gonna be crazy. Nigga, you gonna turn into like an animal. You know what I'm saying? Them niggas in that penitentiary, man, them niggas, it ain't nothing but a zoo, and niggas ain't nothing but animals, man. And it reminds me of the Animal Channel. It's like everybody in there is just an animal. You know, you all different types of animals, and it's segregated off. Like you might have the lions over here, the tigers over here, the bears, the hyenas. It's all different type of groups or different type of animals. And that's the way it look when you in that penitentiary, man. It looked like the jungle. And it looked like everybody's just different type of animals. And everybody gonna be sectioned off. They're gonna be in their own little groups. And everybody's gonna respect everybody's group and everybody's section until you disrespect anybody's group and anybody's section. And when there's disrespect, it's gonna turn into the jungle. It's gonna turn into a war. That's how the rides and shit jump off. It's like animals fighting in the motherfucking jungle. But when everything is peaceful, man. And only thing I didn't like, really, but like being behind the wall and being behind the gate, be locked down. It's locked down too much, man. The compound stay locked down more than it stay up. So that means you always in the cell, man. And I hated being in the cell. I don't like to be locked down. I don't like to be locked behind the door. I can do it, but I don't like it, man. I want that door to be open so I can go in and out. As long as I can go in and out the door when I get ready, I'm cool. But when they got that door locked, nigga, 2, 3 weeks, 4 weeks at a time, this shit starts to wear on your mental, man. Because there's only so much you can do in that room. You lay down, sit up, write, sit in the chair, do some push-ups. Well, there's only so much you can do behind that door, man. And that's the part that really just kind of plays with your mental, man. So I remember I had went through that for so long. I was really kind of messed up in the head, and really didn't really know it until I went down to the low security. So when I went down to low security, man, the low security, they didn't have no locked doors. Matter of fact, they had wooden doors like at home, like doors like in the bathroom, just wooden doors. And it gave you a sense kind of like you was at home, because you just wouldn't know how much a door make you feel like you at home or in a prison just by having a wooden door. Because behind the wall and behind the gate, they have steel doors. So man, when I got there, I mean, it was so wide open. Everything was open. Boys had high shoes on, and it was just, it seemed abnormal in the low. It seemed abnormal, but it really was normal. But I had been behind the wall and been behind the gate so long, it made the normal seem abnormal. So when I got back in a normal setting, I was messed up. I was spooked. I was standing up against the wall, watching all this shit because I was spooked, because I hadn't been in this atmosphere in so long, which was normal. I hadn't been in a normal setting in so long, it seemed abnormal. So I'm standing up against the wall. I don't want nobody to get behind me because they doing too much moving. And in my high levels, high security, they don't move like that. So I wasn't used to all of the movement. So I was spooked. And I remember I'd been there a couple of days, and I would just stand up against the wall with my back against the wall. Because in the higher levels, you really don't want nobody to be behind you. Even when I sat down and watched TV, I always sat down and watched TV with my back against the wall. So I remember a dude came up to me. He was like, "Say, man, it ain't like that over here. You ain't got to stand up against the wall with your back against the wall like that." I was like, "All right, man, I appreciate it." I was like, "Shit, let me see for myself." You know what I'm saying? So when you get to a new joint, you have to scope it out. So I sat with my back up against the wall and just looked at everything and peeped everything out until I figured out everything was all right. Then I started kind of moving, man. And I had never been in a room with more than just one person. So when I got to the low level, they put me in this room. It was like 20 beds in there. So it was like 20 guys in one room. And man, they was just moving. See, in the higher levels, like 9 to 10 o'clock, everything gonna be settled. You in your cell, you locked, and you laid back. But in the lower level, they was just moving around. They going in and out the door. You could just move damn there all night. And I wasn't used to that, man. When it's time to go to bed, things are settled. But when it was time to go to bed at the low level, people were still up. They was cooking. They was playing dominoes, playing cards. They was smoking. They was just moving, man. And I couldn't go to sleep. I couldn't go to sleep because it was too much moving, because I wasn't used to that, which really was normal, but it was abnormal to me because I had been in an abnormal setting for so long. Man, it took me 3 weeks to go to sleep, man. It took me 3 weeks to get used to this setting. And man, at first I was complaining, I can't do this. I can't do this like this. I can't do this like this, man. It's crazy, it's crazy, it's crazy. But once I got used to it, man, it was beautiful. It was wonderful. A lot of guys don't like the lows in the camp, but I love the low, man, because it brought me back to normal. If I wouldn't have never went to the low, I wouldn't have never been normal again. That's what got me prepared to come back to the world, because in the lower levels, it normalizes you again. When you're in those higher levels, you be messed up in the mind. You be on animal shit, you be on jungle shit. But when you come back down to the lows in the camp, it normalizes you. It's like the closest thing to being in the world as you could be coming to the low and being in the camp. So that's what really brought me halfway back when I touched the low, because everything was kind of like free world shit. And once I got to it, man, it was beautiful. It was the closest thing I had been to the world in years. And I started loving it. And I was like, yeah, man, this it, man. If I got to do time, I'd rather do time like this. And man, I'll never forget, man, one of the guys that I was locked up with in the high level, he came to the low. And man, when he got there, he was acting just like me. So I was laughing, you know what I'm saying? I was trying to tell him, I said, man, it's cool, man. You're going to be all right in a few minutes, man. Just ride it out, man. You got to get, man, I can't get used, man. This shit's some bullshit, man. These niggas. He was always complaining about it because he was used to the jungle. I'll just say he was just used to the jungle. He was institutionalized. He was messed up. So when he was seeing this free world type of atmosphere, he couldn't get used to it because he had that jungle up in him. He had a 30-year sentence or whatever. So when he seen this shit, he was telling me, he was like, man, I can't do this. I can't do this, man. And I kept trying to tell him, I said, man, hold on, man. It's going to be all right, man. It's going to be all right. Nigga, this shit, I said, man, this it, man. Look at all this freedom we got, man. Man, these niggas. No, nigga, just think about the freedom we got, nigga. We this shit feel like freedom, man. But he couldn't get used to it. He kept telling me every day, man, I can't do this, man. I can't stay here. And I kept trying to talk to him. Man, this it, man. Man, get this shit a chance. He like, man, I can't do it, man. And what's so crazy about it, niggas be so messed up in the head from being in them USPs and the mediums and that jungle-like atmosphere. Once they get to the free world level type stuff, it's abnormal to them, which is really normal, but it's abnormal to them. And these guys, they can't adjust back. He couldn't adjust back, man. And I remember one day, I seen him, man. He was like, man, I'm finna go back up to the level. He wanted to go back up to the level where it was jungle-like, because he couldn't get used to this normal setting. And it messed me up. I was like, man, dude messed up, man. He it's like if he would have went to the free world, he wouldn't have been able to make it in the free world because his mind was messed up for being in the high levels in the prisons. And that's how them high levels in them prisons mess with your mind. They play with your mind, and everybody can't handle it. Everybody can't snap back to being normal. And I noticed, I said, he's not going to be, if he ever get out of prison, he's not going to be able to snap back to normal, because he couldn't snap back to being half-ass normal at the low security level. And that's what happens to a lot of these guys in that penitentiary. That's why when y'all out here in the world and y'all see a dude get out of prison, y'all be like, man, yeah, like he crazy. And he really do be crazy, because them prisons mess with your mind. And dudes have to adjust back, and some dudes can't adjust back. That's why they seem like they kind of throw it off a little bit. And man, this dude, I went to his room. He ain't been telling me, man, I can't stay here. I'm gonna have to go. I got to go back up. So I went to holler at him one morning, and he was in the room, and he was packing his clothes up. I'm like, say, man, what you doing, man? He said, man, I told you, man. He said, man, I ain't finna stay here. He said, man, I told you, man, I'm finna go. I was like, man, you for real? He said, man, I'm finna go, finna check into the hole, and I'm finna make these people ship me back to where I came from. So he wanted to go back behind the door, behind the wall, instead of being out here in the low-level security where he could be free and walk around with no locked doors. He wanted to go back to where the doors was locked. That's how messed up his mind was. He down here in a prison where he can open the door and go in and out the door without it being locked anytime he wanted to. But he didn't want that. He wanted to go back behind the door where they can lock the door on his ass, where he can be on lockdown, where he wouldn't have no freedom. That's where he wanted to go back to, because that's what he was used to. And it was crazy to me, man. I wanted to get away from that shit. Yeah, it took me a minute to get adjusted to the normal setting, but once I got adjusted, I knew this is where I wanted to be. And I was like, if I gotta do time, I wanna do time like this. But he wasn't like that. He wanted to do the hard time. And it was crazy to me, man. He was packing up his clothes. He was like, man, I'm finna go. Man, that man packed up all his shit, went up to the front office and told them people, ship me off of this yard. He went and checked into the hole himself and got shipped back behind the door. And that shit messed me up so bad. I was like, who does that? But that's how that shit had your mind in prison. Some of them dudes, man, they can't accept the normal setting. They so used to the abnormal setting. When they get in a normal setting where it seems like it's free world, they can't handle it. Imagine that, man. Your mind being so messed up where if they put you back out in the free world, you can't handle it. You don't want to be like that. You get out of prison, they put you back in the free world, and you out here feeling like, man, I can't be out here, man, this shit crazy. I want to go back to prison. There's a lot of guys like that, man. A lot of guys come out here in this world, and they can't adjust. They want to go back to prison. They so used to prison, they want to go back to prison, man. That's how that prison have your mind so messed up. They feel like they would do better in prison. They can't even adjust back to being at home, man. It's crazy, man, but it's a lot of dudes like that. I used to see them come back all the time. They come back into prison, dudes tell me, I be like, man, what happened? Goddamn, you done came back. Man, I can't do that shit out there in the world. Man, them niggas crazy out there. How the hell a nigga gonna be crazy on the streets? This nigga in prison talking about he came back to prison from the free world, talking about niggas in the free world is crazy. He'd rather be in prison. I couldn't understand it. I couldn't wait to get out into the free world. And when I got out in the free world, I kind of understood what he was saying. It was kind of different. But you got to have that support system to guide you through. And I had the support system to guide me through. And I remember, man, when I was walking Walmart or whatever, it was kind of difficult for me because people, if anybody get too close to me, I would feel some type of way. Because in prison, when people don't get close to you like that, because you have a personal space. You have a personal space that they just don't violate. If you violate somebody's personal space, you could get attacked. So we give each other space in prison. But when I got out here in the free world, people would just walk by me real close in Walmart or whatever, and it would kind of mess with me a little bit. I was like, damn. I would think motherfucker might be tripping, but they really wasn't tripping. That was just me tripping on some prison type shit. My mind was messed up. So I had to adjust back. And it took me a while to adjust back. And I'm still adjusting. I've been out here almost 5 years, and I'm still adjusting. But I'm way better than what I was in the beginning. And I'll just say for myself, I love being in the free world. I don't never want to go back to prison. So I'm not going to do nothing to go back to prison. Because I know this is where I'm supposed to be. This is normal. Prison is not where I'm supposed to be. I'm supposed to be in the free world. And I'm going to do things that I'm supposed to do to make sure I stay in the free world. And that's what we got to do. You got to do things to make sure you stay in the free world. Because if you don't, you going to prison, man. So make sure you doing the right things, doing the things you supposed to do to stay free, man. Fed Talk 101, Pimp T, man. Y'all subscribe, y'all like, y'all share.